Good morning, it is Wednesday the 29th of January. It's just turned 9:30. I'm just about to go out and start a bit of a daytime Uber shift. The last video I posted was Saturday. I had a couple of little private jobs that have kept me busy for Sunday and Monday, so that's why I didn't bother coming out doing any Ubering. But yeah, I'm pretty much free today, so yeah, just thought I'd come out and do this. Saves lounging about. So yeah, I'll keep you posted shortly, let you know how we're getting on in the dead hours of a Tuesday. So it's just turned 11:30 and I've done 2 hours. It's been ticking over, but quite slow to be honest. Wait for this to load up. So where was we? So we got my first job after 15 minutes. I think 2 jobs did pop up, but they were miles away. They would want me to drive all the way to Preston. Couldn't be bothered doing it. So that was in Ormskirk. Got a little £3.91 for 1.8 miles. I then got a priority £10.79, which was going from Edgehill University to the Maghull services that I use sometimes. Basically it was just shy of 7 miles away, but because it was basically it's just a straight road out of Ormskirk onto the motorway, and then I was on the motorway for a couple of miles and then just dropped the guy off there. He was on the way to a job interview at the university, and he said, oh yeah, I had plenty of time. He said, you know, for when I got there I was going to have a cup of coffee and everything, and then his tyre went flat on the motorway, so he managed to just pull into the services. He said, I didn't know where I was. He said, luckily, you know, thanks to Uber, he just jumped straight on the Uber app. He had to get an Uber to pick him up to take him to his job interview that he was 2 or 3 minutes late for. So yeah, I just dropped him off back there. He said I have to phone the AA now and wait there for about 3 hours for them to come and rescue me. So yeah, it wasn't too bad of a paying job. I then done a £3.74 for 0.9 of a mile. So that was the first hour. So the first hour wasn't too bad because that kind of came to 15. That was £18.70. And then I got a job outskirts of Southport going into Southport, which was £9.10 for 3.8 miles. I then done a £3.75 for 0.7 of a mile, and then £3.75 for 1 mile. So the second hour was similar-ish, 14, yes, similar. So I'm currently on £35, 4 pence. I think I've been offered 9 jobs and I've done 6 of them. So yeah, I'm currently on £17.52 an hour. So yeah, quite dismal. But yeah, it's hit and miss, as you know, with Uber. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of people out there who say you can easily, consistently hit £20 an hour during the daytime, the quiet hours. Yeah, that's just not the case. You can't consistently hit that. You know, there's times when, you know, you'll be on £20 an hour, but then the next hour will drag you back down. You know, there's hours that I've done in the past where you might make, you know, £50 in an hour, but then there's nothing happens after that for an hour or so. So it is just complete pot luck where you are. So yeah, I'll see what happens. I'm only going to be staying out until about 2:30, so I've maybe got about 3 hours left. So yeah, see what happens. So it's just coming up to 12:30, not quite 12:30, yeah. I've had 3 jobs. So one of them was it was £3.75 for 1 mile, but I've just logged on now and she's given me a £4 tip as well. Well, that's one thing I've noticed. It's in the past, after you've completed the job and obviously you're driving around or you're parked up somewhere, if someone gives you a tip, it used to pop up on the app, a little notification to say, what was it, you've received a tip, or congratulations, you've received a tip, or something like that. But that doesn't pop up anymore, I've noticed. So yeah, I've just gone into the jobs. So I basically got £7.75 to do 1 mile. which was good. I think that's what kind of saved the hour, to be honest, was that extra £4 tip. I'd then done a £3.70 for 1.1 miles, and then I'd done a £6.68 for a 4 mile. Wasn't the greatest, and I picked them up from Aldi. It was a girl with her mum. Shopping trolley absolutely rammed, so I get out to open the boot, and then she's, you know, the big massive Aldi bags absolutely rammed with all the tins, and she's like going. So I was like, oh, do you want me to do it? She was like, oh, can you? Thanks. So I basically ended up lifting the majority of that out because they put that much in the bags, they couldn't physically lift it. So then obviously when I dropped them off, they obviously wasn't able to get them out the back and carry them up the path. So yeah, I ended up doing 2 trips up the path for them to drop that off. So yeah, so in the past hour, what's that roughly? That's like 10, 11, it's like £17 thereabouts in the past hour. So yeah, I've done 3 hours up to now. I'm on 49.42. So that works out. The hourly rate has increased slightly. It's now just shy of £16.50. This little job just popped up here, which I'm not going to do. It's 2.5 miles away in Southport, and it's going 10.5 miles into Liverpool. It was just shy of £1 a mile. So yeah, I don't want to be going that far, and not for that kind of rate either. So yeah, I'll carry on, and well, I've got about 2 hours left until I'll be going home, so give you an update shortly. So it's 2:30, I've just got home. So last update I think was 12:30. After that I'd done 5:42 for 2.5 miles, an 8:26 for 2.3 miles, 4:80 for 1.7 miles, and then a 5:47 for 2 miles. So that was in that hour. So that was probably, that was a half decent hour. That was like 10, 18, 23. It was like a £23 hour thereabouts. Then the last hour was quite slow. It was a bit of a pain because I was trying my best to cherry pick to try and get jobs heading home, which is quite difficult to do when there isn't that many jobs. So yeah, I'd done that second to last job, which kind of headed back a little bit, and then the last job I'd done, which was that £5.15 for 3.1 miles, was heading back a little bit further. It was 3 miles closer to my house, so I thought, well, I'll just accept that, because I've been hanging around for like 15 minutes trying to find a job coming back this way, and I was just about to just basically start driving back empty. So I just accepted that, and then I was kind of in the middle of no man's land, because it's kind of like jobs were popping up, but they were back in Southport. But obviously I was heading out of Southport to head home. So yeah, basically I just come offline and then drove home for the past, like, 10 minutes. So yeah, I finished on £78.52, and that was for the 5 hours. So the hourly rate came back down a little bit again to £5.70. So yeah, all in all, pretty much what I was expecting for a weekday in the quiet hours. So yeah, nothing really major. I didn't really take any screenshots of any really ridiculous jobs, because they weren't that ridiculous. I picked up some loonies before. I got a job which was at the end of a cul-de-sac on like this newish kind of build estate. Not brand new, but it's been in a couple of years. So I go all the way to the end of this little cul-de-sac, sitting there. Like the 3 minutes elapses, they then start getting charged. I then get a message to say, can you come to the end of the close, please? That's where we are. So I'm looking around, I'm thinking, I'm at the end of the close. So I messaged and I said, yeah, I'm at the end of the close. And then she messages just the close name again. So I'm thinking, am I in the wrong place or something? So I'm in the right place on the Uber Maps. I look on Google Maps, and it's like a bit like a shoehorn. This street name or close name. So technically it's got 2 ends, even though they've put the dot at this one end. So I messaged and said, well, okay, so technically I've never seen this before. Like it's basically a U-shaped close, but it's the same. So I said, as this, close got two ends, because I'm at the end of the close where you've put the pin, do you want me to go to the other end? And I'm just sitting there waiting for them to reply, and then 4 minutes has gone by, and the next thing they come out the house, so I pressed the button and opened the door for them, and she was like, oh hi, and I was like, so I was in the right place then? She was like, oh yeah, and then just got in, and I was like, why are you messaging me saying, can you come to the end of the close when I've been sat outside your house for 4 minutes? So yeah, a pair of idiots. I mean, I don't know why they didn't just look out the window and go, oh yeah, the Uber's here. But yeah, other than that was about it. So pretty uneventful really. At least the weather's picked up a bit. It's been at like between 8 and 10 degrees today. What I have noticed past day or two, me miles per kilowatt, it's been a lot better. So I'm back up to almost 3 miles per kilowatt again. So because when it was cold, I was lucky if I was getting like 4 hours out of a full charge. Because the heaters were on and off and on and off. Plus obviously the battery is just less efficient in the cold weather anyway, when it's like freezing cold. But like I've come back now, I've had the heaters bouncing off all the way back as well, because I was coming back. And it's I've got like over a third of a tank left. So I've already done like 80 miles. I'd easily be on like 110 plus probably if I carried on, whereas when it was freezing cold, I was getting like 70-80 miles or something. So yeah, that's one benefit really of the temperature increasing, getting better range, which means I'm able to come out and do like a day shift with plenty of power for when I get back. So yeah, I've come back basically to do the school run, so technically I could put it on charge now, and it would be fully charged again in probably, I don't know, maybe 3 hours, and I could come back out this evening if I wanted to. But yeah, I haven't got the need to do that. So yeah, it does have the benefits of doing that, obviously, by having a home charger. So yeah, that's it. I'll wrap that up. I'm starting to waffle, and I'll catch you on the next one.